everybody? Welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I am here to talk about the Mandalorian Season 3 trailer. The final trailer before this bad boy comes out March 1st. Now, they already released kind of a teaser a few months back, but this is the first trailer, and I gotta tell you, it feels good to be back at proper Star Wars. Now, before people lose it, I thought Andor was great. In fact, if people remember, you go back and look at some of my videos. I made multiple videos talking about and I made at least one, maybe not multiple is a little much, but I at least made one video talking about why Andor as a concept in the trailer was going to be a great show, and all those reasons kind of came to fruition. I loved Andor's different take, its different feel, it's more dramatic / rebellious. Like, Andor felt like a war movie. It felt like a war movie, like an old school war movie that could have been in a movie or something that just so happened to take place in the Star Wars universe, and I appreciate the hell out of Andor for that. That's how Star Wars grows. That's how Star Wars stays fresh, is you gotta have different takes like that. But at Star Wars core, it is a space adventure. It's about big characters, fun action sequences, big freaking aliens, big space battles, and that's what it's really about. And that's why The Mandalorian was always my favorite. It's why I'm so excited for this now, is because I get to see all these characters I love. Obviously, at the end of Mandalorian Season 2 and, the Book of Boba Fett, Mando has the Darksaber now. Which means that technically by, a lot of Mandalorian, or at least the old way of the Mandalorian law, he's the rightful king of Mandalore, and he has to. So now, they didn't really touch upon it in the Book of Boba Fett when Mando showed back up in that. All we know is he has the saber, and he has to go to Mandalore to redeem himself because he took his helmet off, and in his sect of Mandalorians, taking your helmet off is one of the worst things you can do. So he has to go back to Mandalore and bathe in the waters of Mandalore or some crazy shit like that. But at the end of but also we know that Bo-Katan, who the princess of Mandalore, we know that Bo-Katan wants to, find the rest of the Mandalorians and bring them together and, bring Mandalore back as a whole. But this season, which we kind of assumed at the end of Season 2, that Season 1 would take place, would involve Mandalore itself, and it would involve Din Djarin becoming a leader. And that's the vibe you felt. At least that's the vibe I felt, especially in the beginning when because in the beginning of the trailer, he's talking about Mandalorians and finding what we stand for in this new galaxy, because they're all scattered. They're scattered, and they don't even have a planet anymore. They're essentially just mercenaries for hire. It's like, what do we actually stand for anymore? Like, who are we as Mandalorians? Are we just killing machines, living day to day, trying to survive? Like, what are we as Mandalorians? Now, clearly, the events of, the sequel trilogy happened, so the Mandalorians didn't seem like they didn't get involved in the sequel trilogy. Though there's a lot of blanks in the sequel trilogy, it wouldn't be too hard for them to work in that Din Djarin and fucking, Grogu were kicking ass in the background while the sequel trilogy was going on. But I digress. And it seems like that's going to be the base of the story, is Mando is finding what Mandalorians mean, and Mando coming to terms with what it means to him to be a Mandalorian. There's a 50-50 chance by the end of this season Pedro Pascal is not wearing that helmet anymore. Like I'm just telling you right now, and Pedro Pascal, that dude is the king. I haven't watched Last of Us yet. I keep meaning to, but I'm working and doing so many things. This is why I haven't pumped out as many videos. My work schedule in my life has been a bit weird lately. But Pedro Pascal is literally the king of the daddies. The king of the fatherly main character. I'm like, come on, he's playing Joel and this. I mean, it's funny. It writes itself. But I digress. I feel like this entire journey is about Mando coming to the conclusion of, this is what being a Mandalorian means to me, and he's gonna take his helmet off. That's just the vibe I get. Is the 4th season of Mandalorian is he's not gonna have that helmet on at all. It's gonna be some shit like that. It's gonna be Pedro all the way. Probably. But like great action. The CGI just looks so fucking good. The volume, which is a piece of technology that I thought was gonna change everything. It turns out the volume only works for certain things, like because it's been used in many things and in sometimes noticeable and sometimes not noticeable ways. But I do think the best use of the volume, and if you don't know what I mean by the volume is this like animatronic CGI environment. Well, no, that's not even CGI. It's a picturesque like environment that's like created. So like someone takes pictures of mountains and shit, and they can take that, and there's like all these fucking these walls of cameras that can then print on the fucking image and make it like lifelike. So like it's crazy. The volume technology is nuts. I remember when I saw that on the fucking documentary, and I was like, that is revolutionary. Can you imagine being able to create an entire being able to create entire environments visually in your house, in a small place, literally, not like some blue screen CGI, like actual environment. Like, that's nuts. Turns out it doesn't work for everything. It works great for The Mandalorian, though, because some of these shots look amazing, dude. Like, some of these shots in this look like movie quality, which, to me, The Mandalorian has always been the best looking of all the shows on Disney+. Like, out of all the shows on Disney+, there's a scene or two in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There's a scene or two here and there, but The Mandalorian CGI has always looked great, especially on the creatures, especially on the ships. But we got some badass action on our way. Like I said, they didn't reveal too much. All we know is that something is on the rise. Most likely, you know, who I think was it Order something. I can't remember the bad guys in the prequels trilogy. I can't remember them because they were just basically the Empire. But either way, most likely them on the rise. But something's on the rise. Something's rumbling. Something's happening. And Mando is dragging his feet on if he wants to be a leader or not. And like the Bo-Katan wasn't in this trailer at all, and we kind of already heard that Bo-Katan and him relationship is going to be very adversarial. So we'll see. We'll see. Either way, I enjoyed the hell out of this Mandalorian trailer. It was fun. It's good to be back to old school classic Star Wars. Loved Andor, but this is my Star Wars. That classic shit, that fun shit. It's not a problem with having a great time, people. Not everything's got to be dark and brooding. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.